Alright guys, I got some time out in the garage. I've been working on the shower, which is really close to being finished. But the guy that's helping me, which is a very good friend of mine, is going on vacation. So I'm going to be able to be out in the garage a bit more than I have been the last few weeks. So it's a good thing, or at least for me it is. So I went ahead and put everything back on. I'd had everything taken off after I boxed everything in. What I'm after is putting the quarter panels back on. I want to make sure everything's lined up for one final fitment. That way I can go ahead and mark where my plug weld holes are going to be and all that other stuff that needs to be done at this point for final weld. But I want to make sure those quarter panels are crucial, that I make sure that those are sitting right. All this tubs and stuff are right. So it didn't take that long to put this stuff back on, I'm not going to lie. It took me a while to put those rockers back in. They were being a pain in the butt for some reason. But I got them back in, got them back, and that's the good thing about having these pins. You know you're not right until you get it right back where that pin was, and I knew it. I just had to keep working it until I finally got it, and now it's in there and it's right. So, but so yeah, putting all this back in. I just got these pinned back in. As you can see, all this is pinned on. I mean, literally, this car is just bolted together. I was backing in the other day to pull that back in, and I ran over my tail panel here. So you can see it got squashed right here. It actually did bend it, kind of warped it up a little bit right. The light will show right. It's pretty wobbly through there now, so I'm going to do some more metal work, so that's why it's sitting up here. Alright, so I went ahead and put this panel on the car because I needed to make sure it was going to line up with the quarter panel. So I got the quarter panel on. This is all will close up like it's supposed to, really nice. This line's pretty close, but this is still pushed back, so I'm going to have to still work this and bend this, because when I ran over it, it must have smashed it down, because this actually should line up in here something, you know, a lot closer than that. Actually, that's probably a quarter inch or so or more. So it needs to come out just in pretty much this area here. Up here it's still good. Looks like it lines up pretty decent there. But then it just squashes in, so like maybe it twisted right through here somehow, and I need to twist that back out. I can also see this line kind of running up a little bit, like it kind of went in, so I'll have to work that. Now that I got it on the car, I can see where it needs to end up. But anyway, I thought I'd give you an update. That's why I stopped the video, because I was like, all right, I'm going to have to do something different, because I figured out it was actually bent worse than what I thought originally. But that's the way things go sometimes. My little girl's sitting out here in this, and this has wheels on it. I have my hood on the deal, and she's watching TV, and she kicked this, and when she did, it slid into that, flipped my hood over, this rolled back, dropped my hood, as you can see, and bent both ends, or not hood, my trunk. So the only part of my car that was actually not hurt is now damaged. So that's the way it goes, I guess. Just metal, we'll bend it back, right? I hit it with this, popped out a little nipple there, and you'll see it once I step it. See it? No big deal. Get a dolly behind that, get that pole pushed out and slapped out straight again. But for the most part, I'm fairly happy with that. That's back to pretty close to normal. It looks like a little doodah right there. Always use your paper to find your shit, you know what I mean? Because like here, use your paper like that. Use this as your guide coat. So we're all good all the way through there. It's all even, and then it dents in right there. You see where this is still in. Obviously that is still in. So I need to work this metal to get it back out. But my goal here, the reason I put it back on the car, was because I wanted to get it lined up with this. This is critical. Okay, so when I had it over there, I was just working on these little dents, trying to get those out and get them close. And I thought, you know what? I got to looking, and it was bent here and bent up in here. So literally, when the truck ran up, or when the tire ran over it, it tweaked it, the whole thing in right here and right here, that direction. So that's why I went ahead and used the puller, but I locked everything down into place here to where everything couldn't move, and then used that puller to go ahead and pull it back out, and then whatever I could find, that's all I do. Whatever I could find that looks like it'll fit, you know, a piece of wood, whatever, that I can get in there into this shape, which that chisel that I had is got a very, very dull, I dulled it off on the edge so I could use it as a body dolly. So basically it won't, like it was sharp like chisels normally, it would try to cut into that. But I used it in here to go ahead and push that point back out and get, and so in doing that it pulled all this back out good too. So now I've just got these little imperfections here that I need to take out, and we'll be back to getting on with it. I needed to do that because, like I said, I ran over, I don't know if I said in the last video, I ran over back in and it was sitting too close, not paying attention where it's sitting, and I caught a hold of it and just squashed this edge. So that's that. Yeah. But you always use your blocks, man. I mean, you've got this is guide coat. If you don't have that, do the marker thing, do dye, whatever that stuff's called, the blue stuff, Dykem, any of that kind of stuff you can use to get, because this is showing you, I mean, you can feel it with your hands too, if you've done it for, you know, a long time, you're good at that, and I can still feel that, but now I can literally see it, you know what I mean? So I know what's high and what's low. This is high, this is low, this is low, this is low. You know, you can see that, and then this is all back to good. So right here is my damage point. This is all back out straight, so now all I have to do is just work this. And literally I can use filler on that most people would, but I'm gonna go ahead and work that until I get it back like I did the hood, or the roof. If you watch that video, I meticulously worked that out to where I could get it back really straight so I didn't have to use a bunch of filler. But at the end of the day, yeah, this panel is so wavy, and I said that in a previous video, I can look down this thing, and just from the factory stamping, it's just wavy as it can be. So I'll run a block across that, and as a matter of fact, I'll do it now just to show you the highs and lows. I'll go grab a block that, and you'll be able to see because of this. So when you get your parts, you can do the same thing I'm doing. I know a lot of guys want to leave this EDP on here, but you can use it as guide coat. I recommend taking it off only because, like, I can see a lot of crap in here that I don't know what that is. Somebody grabbed it with a sweaty palm or whatever it is. But anyway, I'm not taking a chance. I'm pulling that back down. There could be rust under that. So I had a guy comment the other day, hey, that EDP is the best stuff ever. You should never take it off. You should just scuff it and spray over, whatever. Okay, well, there's a lot of different opinions, and that happens to differ from mine. Not saying you're wrong, just saying that's not how I'm going to do mine. So, wow, there's grinder marks right here, literally from the factory. I don't know if I can show you that, if that'd show up in the camera. I just noticed that. I've never seen that before. Right through there. So somebody's already bodyworked this. I mean, I don't know what happened off the shelf, but that's crazy. But if you look down the side, let me see if I can get you in that light. I can't tell, but maybe right through there, see the wobbles and stuff. So I'm gonna grab a piece of paper with a block that'll contour. That's another thing, just little tips or whatever. I got tons of different blocks, but get you a block that'll contour. One of my favorite blocks are these right here, because they're still flexy. You can bend them to contour in the shape, and so yeah, Mac and Durablock and all that. These are, you know, one's a Durablock, one's a Mac, but it's the same. It don't matter which one I use of those. But I'll grab a piece of 180 here real quick. All right, let's stick it on the block there, and then let me set you down on the stand so you're not half drunk when I'm done. Just to give you an idea, the contour to this panel, you can set your paper up there. This is all old stuff. A lot of guys already know this. This is nothing new for the new guys that are just checking in here. This is a little tip from guys on YouTube from years past. You can contour to that shape, and it will actually contour the block because the tape's holding it to the shape of this. So as I come down it, and I hit it, I can stop there. High spot, low spot, low spot, low spot. Rest of this is fairly good. So I know I've got a low right here and a high right here, which means that I need to move that metal over to here. So I need to put a dolly behind this and push out as I'm pushing down on this and try to slap that, basically that metal, to move that metal over to get that back into shape. Let's see this side of here, see if it's... All right. Pull you over so you can see. Low, low, low. Basically. And 99.9% of the guys are going to scuff that up with 80 grit, and they're going to run over that with a skim coat of mud, and that's going to fill that. Not going to be an issue. That's really minor, but everything, when you do this, every flaw will come out. So guys say, well, why do you use filler? I mean, you're going to have a Bondo beast or whatever it is, whatever the word is. And the thing is if I were just to prime over this, it might fill that, but it might not. And if you prime over it with high build primer, it's going to shrink. So if it shrinks into these like that, and you paint over that, and you don't let it cure out so long or whatever, let it, because it's going to tell when you prime it. Say I prime this gray. Okay, I 80 grit it, and then I just shoot epoxy and then build primer over it. I let it sit for 3 weeks or whatever, and it shrinks down, does its business. And then I come back over and I do this again, and that's still in there. Well, I'm going to block until I hit metal. Well, again, okay, now I'm just chasing my tail. And I waited all that while for that to shrink up. So, what a lot of guys will do is they'll put their epoxy down and put a skim coat of mud over that, block it out smooth and flat, and then prime over that. Then you know you're going to be good, because the filler fill these low spots basically. So a little 101, a little 101 on that. But yeah, that for sure I need to fix. This I'll kind of check out. It doesn't feel too bad. A little bit of a wave through here. I bet if I kept blocking on it, this would be metal and this would stay low. So I've got a high right here and lows here. So something must have happened at this. I can see grinder marks over here too. That's crazy. But so obviously this come off the press and they did a little bit of something to it to kind of doll it up before they EDP'd it. And But so yeah, if you think you're going to get perfect parts out of the box, you're going to be disappointed. But you know, just the kind of way things are with the aftermarket parts, and I'm not, you know, I'm not complaining because I can't make this panel. I don't even know some of the pros, you know, with their, you'd have to make a buck, and the buck would take God knows how long, and it would just be a nightmare. So yeah, thank God for the aftermarket parts that we have to at least have a good start, you know. Better start than what I'd have if I had a flat piece of sheet metal and tried to make this panel. Ain't happening. Anyway, 2 cents on that. This is close. I'm not really wanting to mess with this right now. I was just trying to get the rear end back on, or get the quarter panels back on set. That way I could get one last look and mark for my plug welds and stuff under here. So I'll get this squared up and pushed on right and kind of get everything looked at and see how I'm liking it. And if everything looks good to me, then I'll get it ready for final fitment. Yeah, still got a little ways to go with this is done in here. The deals under there done. I'm going to weld these in. Once I get these set up, I'll mark them where they need to stay, or clamp them where they need to live and leave them there. Then I'll weld these inners to all this, and they'll stay there for good. Like I said, once I get all this set up to where I want it and I know it's going to stay, then I'll pull this in tight, zip it down good, and then we can finalize, you know, welding this shut all the way across and down and through. And of course, like I said, for me it's going to be fun, or not fun, well, fun, however you want to look at it. It's going to be better for me because I can pull the whole top of the car off and just sit and weld it instead of having to crawl in the trunk. Most guys have to crawl in the trunk, crawl up in there, and try to reach in there to get that. So I'll be, I got a little advantage over a lot of guys, being that I can split this car in half. So that was kind of my thought at the first, was to go ahead and put the whole bottom together and get it done, and then just drop the upper on top of a done bottom, you know. So that way I'm not crawling in and out, you know. I'm an older guy, so I don't need to be trying to crawl in and out of that thing all the time. So, but if you have to, you have to. You do what you do. You do what you got to do. But all right, see you. All right, so there it is. That's what it's going to look like final. I went ahead and went inside and marked basically up inside this, and I don't know if it'll, I've got the car so high now, but you can probably see the black line there where I went ahead and marked all around this stuff, where my welds will be just below that, probably a 1/4 inch or so down. Same on that side there. And I broke that loose because I'm going to pull these all the way in as far as I can. I may have to split those outers. Well, I'm going to split them anyway probably, but I may have to massage those to fit these inner tubs, which I kind of already expected anyway. So yeah, I mean, I'm liking it, liking the fit. Went right back together. This will slide back in when I have 2 hands to slide it back in. Same with this one. But the rest of it's all good. So yeah, that's what that'll look like on the final. Like I said, I just marked me off a spot here. I'm going to weld up here. I'm not going to weld to the floor pan yet, which starts here and comes down, because I've got to do some more work to the floor, or got to do some work to the floor pan. But I'm going to go ahead and weld these in. Maybe not today, because I found some exhaust manifolds for that not too far from my house, so I got to go pick those up right now. And hopefully they're not cracked and all that kind of stuff. Hell, I might buy them if they are cracked, just because I need something to get that thing in and out of here, and they're pretty reasonable. So, and hopefully they fit. That's another thing. But we'll see. If they don't, I'll throw them back on, you know, Craigslist or whatever. But I'll give them a shot for the price. Can't beat it. Anyway, yeah, that's it for now. All right, little update on this thing. got some exhaust manifolds and they fit, which is awesome. Very, very awesome. Only problem, which we're trying to figure out, is that the small block mount for the 4-speed transmission was up here. You can probably see where my finger's coming down there. It went straight across, which means it goes straight, basically straight into that, into the exhaust manifold. So I'm gonna have to figure out something different for the clutch. Whether I go hydraulic or what, I'll have to figure out something different. I don't know. I know they make some stuff, aftermarket and da-da-da. I'll have to do some homework because I hadn't really looked into that. I thought about that when I was looking at these exhaust manifolds, and I thought, you know, that clutch is going to come right across there. But I thought maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe they'll be, you know, maybe it'll be, I don't know, just offset enough to where it'll bypass it, and it's just not. Which really sucks. But yeah, so I don't know. Remember the piece I made, and I don't know what I've done with it now, to push the clutch in, that new bar, the new rod. I spent quite a bit of time on it, and I may not be able to use it after all this. I don't know. We'll just have to see. That was pretty. I was pretty proud of that little job, and like I said, now after all that work, it may not even work. Maybe I can throw it on eBay and sell it or something. But I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what I do with the clutch. You can see the hole in the wall there where it comes out. I mean, all that can change. I can close that hole. I can change things around, whatever I need to do. You can see maybe way down in there, you can see the fork pushes the clutch in. But I'm going to have to figure out something else. But on the upside, the headers or the manifolds fit. They don't touch anything. They're not even sucked up tight yet, and they're clearance really, really well. So, man, I'm stoked about that. It's just that rear one right there, just it ain't gonna do it. And this had the center on the small block, the center ones that came out to the middle, and so this one comes out the back. And the ball back there for my clutch is still there for the big block, is on there. So if I could figure out a way to route that around and still work the clutch, that would be good. Maybe I can figure out a way, maybe somebody else has already figured out a way to maybe put a hole different, you know, in a different spot or something. I don't know. We're just gonna have to figure it out. But anyway, one step at a time. But this right here will move me one step closer. So, all right, my battery's getting ready to die. See you guys.